Hello Reds, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got massive Liverpool updates, Jurgen Klopp return rumours, a brutal Trent verdict, Slot's challenge to Ngumoha, and huge £130 million and €80 million transfer moves. Before we start, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss any Liverpool breaking news. Jurgen Klopp's agent breaks silence as ex-Liverpool boss tipped for return. Jurgen Klopp is working as Red Bull's global head of football but continues to be linked with a return to club management at Liverpool, Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. Jurgen Klopp's agent has insisted that the former Liverpool manager is very happy with his current role at Red Bull and links with Real Madrid are just rumours for now. Klopp is working as Red Bull's global head of football, having left Liverpool in 2024, but continues to be connected with top jobs. The German emerged as a potential candidate for Real Madrid when they sacked Xabi Alonso in January. Real replaced Alonso with his former teammate Alvaro Arbeloa, but that hasn't put a stop to the speculation. Meanwhile, there has also been unfounded speculation that Klopp could return to Liverpool to replace Arne Slot amid a difficult campaign on Merseyside. And reports from Spain have even stated that Atletico Madrid could replace Diego Simeone, who is in the final year of his contract, with Klopp. The speculation is such that Klopp's representative, Mark Kosicka, has felt the need to go public and deny them. Jurgen Klopp is very happy with his current role at Red Bull, and what is being said about negotiations to coach Real Madrid are just rumours for now, he said in a statement to 365 Scores, relayed by Ebola. Kosicka also specifically denied reports that Klopp could go into international management ahead of the World Cup. There's no need to answer questions about things that are just rumours, Kosicka added. Nobody has contacted us at this time. Klopp has spoken about how much he's enjoying his more relaxed role with Red Bull, where he oversees their multi-club structure with RB Leipzig, New York Red Bulls and Paris FC. I'm in a place, as a person, where I'm completely at peace with where I am. I don't want to be somewhere else, Klopp told AFP in January. I don't get up and excited if Real Madrid are showing interest, if they would be, but it's the media. Do I want to coach again? At the moment, I would say no, but I cannot say never, never, never. I don't expect to change my mind, but I don't know. Speaking to The Athletic in September, Klopp hinted that he could use his time with Red Bull as a stepping stone back into management. I know I can coach a football team, but that doesn't mean I have to do it until my last day, he said. I wanted to do something different. Red Bull gave me an opportunity to find a role which we have been defining together, step by step. I'm in a place as a person where I'm completely at peace with where I am. I don't want to be somewhere else. I got to know a lot of people who I didn't know before. I've been to a lot of business meetings and learnt words that I never knew before. It's been a good time. 1 year in, 5 years of experience gained. In another news, Liverpool news, Arne Slot replacement decision made as Jurgen Klopp in talks for return. Reports surrounding Arne Slot's future has been strife amid a disappointing campaign at Liverpool. The disappointment of Arne Slot's second season at Liverpool could play a major role in his stay at Anfield. A dismal defence of their Premier League crown, the Reds have looked like a shadow of their former selves for much of the season. Currently sitting sixth in the league table following a historic summer spend of £450 million, it remains to be seen whether the Reds' drastic underachievements could mark a decision being made on Slot's future. The Dutchman has over a year left to run on the 3-year contract he signed to become Liverpool head coach in 2024. With over 3 months left to go of the season, it's a period that can define Slot's legacy as Mirror Football takes a look at the latest stories coming out of Anfield. Arne Slot replacement decision. With just over a year left on Arne Slot's contract at Anfield, a decision on whether to commit or part ways with the Dutchman will have to be made sooner rather than later. Prior to his appointment in 2024, former Red star Xabi Alonso was reportedly Liverpool's key target to replace Klopp, but rejected the club to stay at Bayer Leverkusen. After spending just 7 months at Real Madrid, the Spaniard left the club in January and has remained jobless, reportedly wanting to wait until the summer to make a decision on his next position. According to Team Talk, the Reds owners, Fenway Sports Group (FSG), have earmarked Alonso as the only name they want as the club's head coach this summer. The report also adds that the drastic decline from last season's title-winning campaign has alarmed the hierarch. It claimed that while the club are not yet planning to replace Slot, but the Dutchman is aware that an explanation of the drop-off this season is expected once the current campaign ends. Jurgen Klopp return. Jurgen Klopp has shown no signs of wanting to return to the daily slog of football management, but that hasn't stopped reports linking him with a stunning move to Atletico Madrid. Currently the global head of soccer at the Red Bull franchise, reports of his satisfaction with his role, which were rubbished by Red Bull, caused controversy. Amid claims of his discontent, Spanish television show El Chiringuito stated that the German is in advanced negotiations about succeeding Diego Simeone, who is in the final year of his contract. They claim that Klopp, 58, is in talks with Mark Rowan, who is the CEO of Atletico majority shareholders, Apollo. Oliver Mintzlaff, CEO of corporate projects and investments at Red Bull, categorically shut down the reports as he said, "This is total nonsense and completely unfounded. On the contrary, we are extremely satisfied with Jurgen Klopp's work. We are convinced that he is the right man for this job. That's where we are putting our full focus and our energy." In another news, Trent Alexander-Arnold dealt brutal verdict by Spanish media as Jurgen Klopp blamed. Trent Alexander-Arnold had a tough evening, despite Real Madrid winning in Vigo on Friday. Things continue to prove difficult for Trent Alexander-Arnold, despite his Real Madrid team clinching a last-minute victory at Celta Vigo on Friday. The ex-Liverpool defender was among those targeted for criticism in the Spanish press, with Fede Valverde's late winner for Los Blancos doing little to dampen that criticism. Aurelien Tchouameni put Madrid ahead early on following a neat corner routine, only for Borja Iglesias to level the score when Williot Swedberg made Alexander-Arnold look ordinary before feeding his teammate. The right-back was found wanting again, as Iago Aspas came within a whisker of putting the hosts ahead, but ultimately Valverde's deflected shot shattered Celta hearts deep into extra time as the hosts appealed in vain for a foul on Fer Lopez. There was a more positive contribution from Alexander-Arnold at 0-0 when his perfectly weighted pass from deep found Vinicius Jr. The forward's attempt rebounded off the post though, and the through ball was swiftly forgotten. With Madrid facing Manchester City in the Champions League round of 16 on Wednesday, some media outlets voiced concern, not just about their new right-back, with the feeling that another lacklustre performance would be penalised more harshly. However, in criticising the summer signing, some provided a reminder of former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp's use of the player at Anfield. Marca. Don't be shocked by Alexander-Arnold. He's always been like this, Marca said in their write-up. Klopp said it himself right after leaving Liverpool. I just failed to teach him how to defend. Anyone who regularly watches Liverpool knows that Trent isn't exactly a defensive hound. His strength lies in pushing forward and distributing the ball with his exquisite passing. But defending, forget it, as was proven once again with Celta's first goal. The only question is whether he doesn't know how or simply doesn't want to. So if you're a Real Madrid fan, don't get angry with the English fullback if you don't like his defensive performances. If anything, be angry with whoever signed him. Klopp did actually defend Alexander-Arnold's defensive strength during his time at Anfield. However, some shortcomings were on show at times in England, as well as in Spain. Sport. Alexander-Arnold received a poor rating of 3 out of 10 when Sport assessed Madrid's players. Trent's situation is very worrying, the publication said when focusing on the 27-year-old. The Englishman is a problem in defence for Real Madrid, as demonstrated by Celta's first goal. He was very weak defensively and completely outmatched in every aspect of the game. To make matters worse, he's lost what little he contributed in attack. If Carvajal recovers somewhat, he'll be back in the starting lineup. Mundo Deportivo. It was a comparable narrative in Mundo Deportivo, who emphasised it wasn't the first occasion the right-back has been found lacking this term. Alexander-Arnold is merely a few months into his 6-year contract at the Bernabeu, but some expected him to deliver more by now, regardless of injury issues making it a stop-start campaign. Tchouameni gave Real Madrid an early lead, but Celta Vigo quickly equalised through Borja Iglesias in a move that once again exposed Trent Alexander-Arnold's shortcomings this season. They wrote, "The English right-back, a shadow of his former self at Liverpool, arrived at Real Madrid with the reputation of a superstar, but as a Real Madrid player, he's a complete flop. Trent's lack of motivation, sluggishness and poor positioning for the 1-1 equaliser were appalling. Swedberg had free rein over him before laying the ball off to Borja Iglesias, who fired past Courtois, once again the best player on his team." Cadena Ser. The coverage at Cadena Ser made for even more painful reading for Alexander-Arnold. However, the publication did at least recognise his contribution to the opening goal. It's clear that Trent Alexander-Arnold's adaptation to Real Madrid has been difficult, but in the few minutes he's played this season due to injuries, he's already made headlines, the publication's write-up read. The Englishman proved to be one of the best right-backs in the world at Liverpool, but his strengths aren't the typical ones associated with the position. Cadena Ser also highlighted the scathing assessment on commentary, most notably from Carrusel Deportivo's Antonio Romero. "He can't win a single duel," Romero said. "I have no problem with the lad. It's obvious Trent has a good touch. It's obvious he delivers brilliant crosses. But at right-back, he's a disaster. He doesn't use his body, he doesn't intercept, he doesn't sprint, he doesn't press, he doesn't play the offside trap." Over at AS, there was an acknowledgement the attacking qualities displayed by Alexander-Arnold, both in the build-up to Tchouameni's opener and Vinicius' strike against the woodwork moments before. Nevertheless, they also couldn't ignore his defensive frailties after they were exposed in the first half. Williot, a recurring nightmare for Real Madrid, fought for a ball on the right. Trent, alarmingly, lost the challenge and the physical battle, failing to close down the Swede and allowing him to gift Borja Iglesias the goal, they reported. A goal of shared authorship, another yellow card for the Englishman, a good winger, a poor fullback, their assessment concluded. Whether Alexander-Arnold retains his position when City arrive on Wednesday remains uncertain. In another news, Arne Slot sends Mohamed Salah challenge to Liverpool wonderkid Rio Ngumoha. Liverpool got revenge for their midweek defeat against Wolves by beating their Premier League rivals in the FA Cup 5th round with youngster Rio Ngumoha. Having been given an opportunity, Rio Ngumoha has been told to follow in Mohamed Salah's footsteps following his brilliant performance versus Wolves. The 17-year-old was given an opportunity at Molineux on Friday and turned in a man-of-the-match performance as the Reds won 3-1 and secured a spot in the quarter-finals. It was the teenager's 19th appearance in all competitions this season, having burst onto the scene with a stunning winner against Newcastle earlier this term. Slot was full of praise for Ngumoha and his performance, but urged the youngster to ensure he tries to match Salah's dedication and output. He said, "A player that, as we know because we weren't seeing him for the first time, he is able to beat his man in 1v1 situations. That is something you don't see a lot in modern football, so good performance from him. That is special if you are 17 years old and you can impact a Premier League game. I know it is an FA Cup game, but 2 Premier League sides, in this manner that shows that he has a lot of qualities. On the other side, there is a player, Mo Salah, who he needs to take the example of. Being a good player is not so difficult. but being a good player every 3 days over a long period of time is something we are going to work on with him to ensure he can get to those levels. Slot was also full of praise of Ngumoha during his post-match press conference. The Dutchman added, "Good, I think it's special if you're a 17-year-old and you play in a Premier League match. I know it's an FA Cup match, but two Premier League sides playing against each other. If you're then able already to impact it with some very good 1v1 situations, that is also what makes him special, because there are not many players in the modern football that can take 1v1s on. That's something he can. He also, in my opinion, did better than 3 days ago because he kept the ball more. 3 days ago, he lost it a few times as well. So 3 days ago, he also had his impact with his actions. Today, he had it as well, but was even better in moments where he had to keep the ball. It's a nice game because you face 5 defenders. For a winger, you only have to go to one of the 3 centre-backs, or defensively, you don't have to do as much as when you face 4 defenders. It was also a nice moment for him to use all his energy for the attacking part and not having to defend as much as when you have to do that when you play against the 4 at the back. In another news, 2 Liverpool inquiries for superstar attackers fail, as Nuno one target named exclusive. Liverpool have been informed their chances of signing 2 PSG superstars are nil after a pair of inquiries came to nothing, and we can reaffirm which electric winger is now front and centre in their minds as they look to replace Mohamed Salah. Liverpool have been informed that Desire Doué and Bradley Barcola will not be available this summer or in the near future. Team Talk can reveal. The Paris Saint-Germain duo had been on Liverpool's radar, with sources previously revealing that the Reds were monitoring both players closely as they assess future attacking options. That search is becoming increasingly important with Mohamed Salah likely to leave Anfield this summer, and Liverpool's recruitment team are intensifying work on identifying potential replacements. Sources confirm that Liverpool made inquiries to establish whether either Doué or Barcola might become available as PSG continue shaping their squad. However, the response from the French champions has been clear. Both players are considered central to the club's long-term plans. PSG's hierarchy believe the 2 young attackers can form a key part of the same forward line moving forward under head coach Luis Enrique. One idea being explored internally is a positional evolution for Barcola. The French international has traditionally operated as a wide forward, but PSG believe he can develop into a more central attacking threat. The thinking mirrors the adaptation made by Ousmane Dembele, who has successfully transitioned from a touchline winger into a player capable of regularly operating through the middle. That approach was on display on Friday evening when Barcola started in a central forward role against AS Monaco. Despite PSG suffering a surprise 3-1 defeat, Barcola found the net while operating in his new position. Behind the scenes, PSG are already working to further secure the futures of both players. Barcola is expected to be the first in line for a new deal, even though his current contract runs until 2028, while Doué is tied down for an additional year beyond that. Team Talk sources say both players are extremely happy at the Parc des Princes and are enjoying working under Luis Enrique. As a result, PSG are confident the pair will soon commit their long-term futures to the club, effectively closing the door on Liverpool's hopes of landing either player in the foreseeable future. So, who now for Liverpool? With Doué and Barcola now firmly off the market, along with Bayern Munich winger Michael Olise, Liverpool are continuing to assess alternative targets. We can confirm that RB Leipzig sensation Yan Diomande is emerging as a leading option for the Reds as they plan for a potential post-Salah era, with the highly rated attacker increasingly catching the attention of the club's hierarchy. As we first revealed in early December, Liverpool scouts firmly believe Diomande would be an excellent fit for the club's attacking system and profile of player they are targeting moving forward. Indeed, within the Red Bull network, there is huge excitement around the youngster, with sources indicating the group believe he is their most exciting attacking prospect since Erling Haaland first emerged within their system at Salzburg. However, prizing him away from Leipzig will not be straightforward. As we have previously confirmed, the Bundesliga side currently value the Ivory Coast international at around €100 million or £87 million. Latest Liverpool news. New Konate offer Klopp to Real Madrid truths. In other news, Liverpool remain hopeful they can persuade Ibrahima Konate to sign a new contract at Anfield and have now put forward their biggest salary offer to him yet, though 3 European superpowers are hovering over a possible free transfer, Team Talk can reveal. Elsewhere, stunning reports in Spain claim Jurgen Klopp has agreed to become the next manager of Real Madrid, and Fabrizio Romano has thundered in with the full truths in the situation. In another news, spectacular £130 million Liverpool move boosted as Euro giant faces dangerous exit saga. Liverpool have learned that Bayern Munich are facing a complicated situation in their attempts to tie Michael Olise down to a new contract, with a German journalist providing the latest. Olise has established himself as a truly elite winger since leaving Crystal Palace for Bayern in July 2024. He has notched 33 goals and 48 assists in 91 appearances so far, helping the Bavarians win the Bundesliga and German Super Cup. This season, the right winger has managed 13 goals and 25 assists in 36 games, having formed a devastating forward line with Harry Kane and Luis Diaz. There could be more silverware for Olise and Bayern this term, as they have a 14-point lead at the top of the Bundesliga, while also having reached the Champions League round of 16 and the semi-finals of the German Cup. Olise is in line for a lucrative new contract amid his superb form, though Liverpool are lurking in case an agreement cannot be struck. Bild's head of football, Christian Falk, has now provided an update on Olise's potential new contract. and it could present Liverpool with an opportunity. Michael Olise is currently on a contract running until 2029, and Bayern Munich would love to have him sign a new contract until 2031, Falk wrote in his latest Bayern Insider column. But this all takes time. With 3 years left on Olise's current terms, Bayern have time on their hands. But of course, they also heard that Liverpool are interested and Manchester City is watching the player. They also have the Konrad Laimer contract negotiations to think about, the Harry Kane negotiations. It's a complicated situation. What if you sign one player until 2031 and then the others say, hey, I want a longer contract? It's a bit of a dangerous game. The longer you wait, the more it invites other clubs to pick up the phone and call the player. Michael Olise isn't at the moment one of the top earners. Jamal Musiala and Harry Kane perhaps earn about €10 million more. Bayern can always give the right winger more money, but the longer they wait, the more complicated the situation becomes. Bayern don't want another Upamecano case. Nobody wants that. We confirmed on Tuesday that Liverpool indeed hold interest in Olise and have made checks on his situation. Bayern unwilling to sell world-class Liverpool target. However, we understand Bayern have rebuffed the inquiry, and the player himself is not angling for a move. Speculative recent reports in Spain have claimed Liverpool have had a stunning €150 million or £130 million or $174 million bid for Olise rejected, with a new offer supposedly being drawn up. It has also been suggested that Liverpool could use Bayern's interest in Cody Gakpo to help bring down the cost of signing Olise. Should Liverpool be unable to land the France star, then they will likely move for RB Leipzig winger Jan Diomande instead. In another news, Liverpool announced brilliant deal and table biggest offer yet for second signing. Liverpool have confirmed that Ryan Gravenberch has penned a new long-term contract at Anfield, and our sources have revealed the Reds are working hard on their next deal. Gravenberch's previous terms were due to expire in June 2028, and he has signed a 4-year extension designed to keep him on Merseyside until the summer of 2032. In an interview with Club Media, the midfielder said, I feel really, really good. I was really proud to extend my contract at such a big club, so I'm really happy that I can stay for many more years. I felt directly the trust from the club, also from the manager. The decision for me was easy to make. My family is also happy here. We are now here almost 3 years, so I know everything already. I'm happy that I'm here. Gravenberch added, for the short term, my aim is to end the season as good as possible, and for the long term, win many more trophies with Liverpool. I have a really nice relationship with the fans. Always when I do something good in the stadium, I hear them singing my chant. I'm really grateful for the supporters, because without them, we would not be where we are now. In the future, we want to give them many more trophies, so hopefully we can get that done. Centre-back Ibrahima Konate is the next player Liverpool want to get tied down to fresh terms. Real Madrid are long-term admirers of Konate, while Barcelona and Inter Milan are also keen on him. But we revealed on Friday that Liverpool have sent the defender their most lucrative contract offer yet to get him to sign. While Konate's camp have fielded approaches from numerous European giants recently, we understand there is increased confidence at Anfield that Liverpool will keep him. The Reds want to prevent a repeat of the Trent Alexander-Arnold saga, where he ran down his contract before joining Real Madrid last summer. Sources confirmed to us on February 9th that Liverpool want a definitive answer from Konate by Easter. In another news, Liverpool to launch €80 million bid for superb starman Utid are locked in talks for report. Liverpool are drawing up an €80 million or £69 million or $93 million offer to win the race for Nottingham Forest star Murillo, a report has claimed, and it could be part of a double setback for rivals Manchester United. Murillo was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and came through the Corinthians Academy before making his first team debut in April 2023. The centre-back made just 27 senior appearances for Corinthians before being snapped up by Forest in a €12 million deal in August 2023. Since then, Murillo has made a name for himself as one of the top young central defenders in the Premier League. He has the strength and speed required to deal with elite strikers, while also possessing great vision and close control. These traits allow Murillo to step out of defence and quickly get Forest on the attack. The 23-year-old is among several players who could leave Forest in the summer, especially if they are relegated to the Championship. Spanish outlet Fichajes claim Liverpool are preparing an €80 million bid to bring Murillo to Anfield for next season. Arne Slot's side have identified Murillo as one of their priority targets and are already making decisive moves for the summer. Liverpool chiefs see the Brazilian as a perfect capture to help future-proof their backline. Murillo could succeed from club captain Virgil van Dijk, who is 34 and in the twilight years of his career. Liverpool have already agreed to sign Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes this summer, but they need more defensive signings. Joe Gomez has been tipped to leave, while Ibrahima Konate's future remains unresolved, though he has just received Liverpool's biggest contract offer yet. We revealed on February 4th that Man United are aiming to snare both Murillo and Elliot Anderson from Forest. But it could be a double miss for the Red Devils, with Liverpool pushing to sign Murillo and Anderson to Manchester City being labelled a done deal. Sources confirmed to us on February 26th that Liverpool and Chelsea have thundered into the chase for Murillo. We understand a transfer is increasingly likely to happen if a bid worth £60–70 million or up to €81 million or $94 million is made. It was claimed recently that United are locked in talks for the one-cap Brazil international, but he appears more likely to join Liverpool or Chelsea as things stand. Now, that's all for today's Liverpool update. What do you think about the Klopp return rumours and the big transfer moves? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more daily Liverpool news. See you in the next video.